Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I currently have on my whole face except for my eyes and all that eye stuff because I really wanted to do a real life first impressions and to see how a certain palette works. So this came in the mail yesterday. It is the Amazonian Clay palette from Okalan, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I got it off Shop Hush for $14. Yes, $14. I'll have it linked down below, but this is supposed to be a dupe for the Tarte Amazonian Clay palette. I'll link down a couple other videos below for people who actually are comparing it to that other palette. I don't own the other palette because it's expensive. This was 14 bucks, and yeah, so first of all, it comes, it's all like hieroglyphic? What? Holographic. It's hollow, but it's in this little box. And it does have like all the info on the back. It has like these little like, I don't know, graphs or something. And when it comes out, it's exactly the same, so goodbye, don't need him anymore. And it opens up, and it's still like holographic. Ooh, so pretty. And it actually has this little, if I can get this off, it's actually like attached on it, which is kind of cool. That's also going after this. So here is the palette. So you have 4 rows of, and these are all matte shades, and then these 4 right here are the shimmer shades. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like each row is like an individual eye look. But yeah, it's really, really pretty. I did swatch it a little bit yesterday because when it came, I could not contain myself. And yeah, so I'm just gonna do a couple swatches first before, actually no, let's just start. Alright, so I've decided to put an actual concealer because I've seen a lot of girls doing this lately where they just put straight up concealer and they don't set it to help like with color pigmentation or whatever. I use a eye primer from e.l.f. and I'm just placing it on my lids so it has like something to grip to. Alright, so first of all, we are going to start probably just with the transition shade. And these do have names on them, which is nice. Unlike the last palette I did had no names, and I was just like, this one. So we're gonna start off, I think, with a transition color of just straight up. I want to use these purples. So let's start with the transition color. Let's just do this whole row right here. We're just gonna see what happens. We're doing the whole row. So we're gonna start off with cheek, I don't know, chick, I think is what it is. There's some kickback. I don't know if you can see that, but when I kind of dip in there, you can't even see it. But there is some, so I'm tapping on my brush. Woo! There it was. And we are going to start. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. It's pretty nice. It's like just a nice little wash of color. Next we're gonna go in with Profesh, which is this matte shade right here. Alright, next we're gonna go in with this color Mood. It's kind of like a pinky reddy kind of color. I'm not gonna lie, on the site, when they do swatches on the site, they look much more brown. I would definitely say when I got this, everything was a lot more like red colored than I anticipated. I think next I'm going to go in with the really shimmery shade, which is this one right here in the color Minx. Is there a different way to say that? Am I saying it wrong? Okay, I need like a primer. So I'm just gonna go back in and prime the center of my lid because these shadows are like really nice, but it's a little dry, and I'm kind of worried that if I just shove the shimmery shade on top of here, it's just gonna fall off. And that's not what I want. I want the shimmery shade to be more in the center. And the matte shades to be on the outside. And it's not a cut crease as much as it is just kind of blasting the color out. I forget what it's called. It's like hazy eye or something. I don't know. It's supposedly a thing. And I like to just take my finger and pat color on. I know some people don't like using their fingers, but it's always worked for me as far as like any metallic-y or glittery shades. So. Alright, so I have that kind of, I guess it's more of like a metallic-y foiled shade almost. They're not really glittery, which I like, and it's more of just a metallic kind of look to it. So before I move on, I'm noticing that this side is definitely not as blended out up here as on this side. And I'm gonna go back in with Chick and just kind of blend it out up here. Again, I don't mind a really messy eye. That's kind of like the eye look I'm into currently. I love just the blasting the color out just all over the lid. And I think it's a really pretty look for more winter time. For some reason it's just not blending out as well over here. Granted, my eyes are shaped kind of weird. So like my brow bone comes down further on this side, so it's always been difficult to make the shadow look even. I'm also just blending it way in here. That's really pretty. I really like the colors. And last but certainly not least, we are going to smoke out our waterline, because what's the point of doing a really, really messy cranberry eye if you're not going to smoke out the waterline? Like, that's the whole point. So I'm going to go back in with Mod, just that cranberry color again, with a pretty dense brush. Pack on some color, tap off the excess, and then go right under there. Oh yeah. And then last, before I finish, I'm gonna go back in with Drama, that really plummy color, and get as close as I can to my waterline. So it looks really intense on the bottom, but once I do my liner and my lashes, it won't look as intense. And then lastly, I love a good... What are you doing, dude? My dog's right here and he thinks he's gonna go outside. I love to do a really like intense inner corner highlight, so I'm just going to spritz a little bit of, that's a lot of liquid, powder in there. go in with, I don't know, I want to do all that one line, but I want to use this as my inner corner highlight. I think I will. We're going to use Glam as our inner corner highlight, which is this really nice, more of a icy glitter tone thing. I don't know. So underneath it's like, it looks really low on this, but it's really not. And I like it really smoked out on the bottom. So I'm gonna clean up the bottom a little bit with like a setting powder, lashes, liner, and I'll be back. Alright, so here is the overall look I was able to create with the eyeshadow palette. I'm pretty happy with it. I'll insert a couple pictures that I took right after. I don't know if I like this lip color. It's a little too brown, I think, for the look. But overall, I like the kind of vampy vibe. The vampy vibe that it kind of brought to my eyes. I did a little mascara in this eye though, so it's kind of watery and it's all sad. But overall, that was the look I created using this third row right here and then just this in the inner corner. And I am not mad about it. This was a $14 palette. I got it on Shop Hush. I'll link the website down below. You can also get it on the app, and on the app is free shipping, no minimums. I recommend getting it on the app. It's so much better and it's so much easier because you can just order one thing and it's like, it doesn't even matter for shipping. Yeah, so I'm really happy with this. I'll link a couple other videos down below, people who actually have the other palette, of course. But overall, for 14 bucks, they blended nicely, they laid nicely. The color, I'd say, is really, really nice on my eyes and it's not irritating. And overall, the packaging is really cute. And let's do a couple swatches really quickly. I literally like went out of order, but there's the first couple of mattes. And they're not super creamy, they're pretty dry. But pigmentation wise, I mean, look at that. That last shade is like falling into the other ones. That's like really crappy swatches. And then we're just gonna do the bottom row. And this black, I swatched this black yesterday. Hopefully it swatches as good today, but there's that light. Oh, it's like a dusty purpley shade. And then brown, and then here's the black. I feel like it swatched better yesterday, but it's actually a really nice black, and that's hard to find, and it's not as chalky as you can see some of these other browns are. So that's exciting. And then lastly, I'm just gonna do all four of the like metallic shades. Start with Ethereal, Glam, Minx, and then what is this? Trendy. That's cute. So we're gonna do them way down here. I'm like constantly guessing really incorrectly how much room I need. Alright, oh, there they are. So I don't know if you can see, but they're not really glittery as much as they are like, have like a metallic sheen to them. This one's really, really light, but I use that as my inner corner, and that's so nice with a little bit of like a wet set. I have this on my lid, and then these two shades are really, really pretty. But so far, these swatched all pretty nicely, and then we'll just do one wipe. That black is still there. So it stained pretty well too up here, I'd say, with the browns. I mean, I know some people don't like swatches, but I personally like finger swatches because it shows you just how different the color can be on the skin and out of the pan. But yeah, that was my review for the Amazonian Clay palette by Okalan and Shop Hush, 14 bucks. I can't like compare it to the actual thing because I don't have the actual thing obviously, but overall for $14 palette, I'm impressed. Of course, I'll do like a little wear test update at the very tail end of this at the end of the day. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my review of this little palette. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to try to upload videos once or twice a week, different like cheap makeup reviews, demos, and I'm just someone who really enjoys makeup, and so if I can do it, so can you. And thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you next time with me. Bye! So it's the end of the day, I'm about to shower. So far, I mean, my lips, like, it's so bad, but as far as like the eyeshadow goes, the colors definitely, like, the intensity diminished. Of course it's going to. It is creasing and caking up a little bit on my, under my lash line, but overall, I mean, they're still there. Use concealer and primer, but yeah, the overall intensity of the colors definitely like decreased a lot, but they're not like super creasy, and of course I usually like kind of touch up during the day, and so I wore this, it's like 9 o'clock at night now. This was on my face for like 10 hours, so I'd say that's pretty good for a $14 eyeshadow palette. So anyways, this is it. I'm gonna go wash my face now and get all this crud off my face. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!